Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 21. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Lee Caraher. Lee is an author, entrepreneur, and a CEO with over 20 years experience. Communication strategist known for her practical solution to big problems. Lee founded the Double Forte in 2002 to work with good people doing great work for good companies and hot technology startups in San Francisco. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Patience. It's so great to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I know here the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little about your background, about what you did before you started your online business? Take us right up to the last job or business before you are online.
Okay, great. Before I started this company, I worked for a large multinational communications firm I managed offices in San Francisco, all up and down the west coast of the United States, on the east coast of the United States, and in London. And before that, I was at Sega, the video game company, where I managed all communications, customer service, events, and the web. And before that, I was in agencies in California and in Boston.
Wow. You've been around into technology.
That's what they all say, Patience.
Oh, wow. That's a great background, Lee. So help us connect with you. Tell us one thing, either a business or a personal, that we want to know about you, even if we've been following you for a while.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and what you see is what you get. I really there's not much people don't know, but one thing people are surprised about still is that my degree in college is in medieval history, and my specialty was in 11th and 12th century England. And they always say, well, how did you do what you do today with that background, with that degree in college? And my answer is always, one, there's nothing you can't learn from something else. And two, everything I learned about how to figure out, how to articulate, how to defend, and how to propagate a message I learned in the study of history.
Oh, okay. How comes your company? You just hire people only under 32 years old.
No. Well, I started the company and I only hired people who were over 32 years old in 2002, because I only wanted to hire people who knew what they were going to do and knew how to do things, and I didn't want to babysit anybody and all this kind of stuff. And in 2002 in the United States, that was not hard. We could, the economy in the San Francisco Bay Area was terrible after the dot-com bust in 2000. Basically nobody got hired in my business, my kind of business, between 2000 and 2004, 2005. So in 2002, when I started the company, I was like, well, there's a lot of talent out there that has lots of experience that's looking for work. I will take advantage of that, the people that, who know what to do, and I don't have to manage. That was a big mistake. You have to manage everybody. It doesn't matter how old they are, no matter how many years of experience they have. And then in 2008, I had grown the company to about 18, 19 people, with a very flat, high cost base business model, but had very low churn and very low turnover in clients. And in 2008, I was so excited that, I think I can work maybe 3 days a week, maybe 4. And on Saturday, September 13th, I had that thought. On Sunday, September 14th, I figured out how to do it. How was I going to move work around? Who else was I going to hire? So that I could, been at it a while, at it 6 years, I could scale back my involvement and sort of, have a more time for my family. And then on September 15th, by 10 o'clock, the economy is tanking all the way around the world. And by 10 o'clock, I was like, oh my gosh, I will be happy at 4 days. And at 10:30, oh my gosh, 5 days. And at noon, oh my gosh, 6 days. And at 1, I will be happy if my business survives at 7 days a week. So after that, it's always important when you go through a economic, impact, either in the economy or in your own ecosystem, to take a look at your business model, because we can't imagine that the business model that got us to a point where it cracked would actually be valid after it cracked, from my point of view. And I realized, you know what? We're going to run out of people who have 10 years of experience. We need to bring younger people in. We have to start growing our own. Otherwise, we're not going to have a future. So in 2009, we changed the business model. And in 2010, we started hiring people right out of college, which was a big shock to our system.
Ooh, but I hope to pay it off because this young.
It
young
has.
Okay. How can we thrive with the millennials in our workplaces?
Millennials get a lot of bad press. If you Googled it today, you would find over 2.5 or 3 million negative entries about working with millennials. It's, they really get a bad rap.
Okay, people tend to think the sunshine is always shining because now you are successful. Did you have any setbacks or failures while setting up your online business?
Oh my gosh. So many. Well, I was lucky because I started my own business after I had started businesses for other people. So I learned a lot of things in that process that, I tried to adapt to my own company. I think there are so many setbacks. I think we're in the service business, and you're never in control, right? And you can do everything right and still lose the client. And so many setbacks on that in terms of not reading the client right, hiring people and then losing the client, and then trying, rushing furiously to be able to bounce back from that. When I started hiring millennials in my business in 2010, 2011, I didn't really think it would be that hard. And it was very challenging. We hired 6 people, 22 to 28-year-olds, I guess, all within 2 months of each other, within an 8-week period, 6 people. And they all failed. They all failed within about 3 months. And they failed either by walking out the door or me walking them out the door. And I had never in my career had 100% failure in recruiting. One person out of 6 could be their problem, but 6 people out of 6 is not all 6 people's problems. I am known, or I was known at the time, for recruiting really well, and I'd always prided myself on that. But with 6 people walking, out the door within 8 weeks, it takes a long time to hire people. It was just a waste of time and money. That was when I started digging into this whole issue around millennials. Like, why was it so hard? And I didn't realize it was so negative online, everything I told you about, all these 3 million bad entries. And I really decided to ignore everything negative. If I'm walking into the office and just already thinking negative things about the people around me who are going to be the future of this company, then I should not walk into the office. So we really set out to figure out how you can create a positive intergenerational workplace with many different kinds of cultures, and started from scratch and came up with what has worked so far. And that is the basis of my book. And I put everything that we learned and things I learned from other people into my book to share with other people.
Wow. I know the client is anxious to hear about how you got through in part 2, but for now, tell us, what do you think is the reason for your success online?
My success, one, I think I have a sense of humor. I put things in perspective. I am resilient. I don't give up. And I just know if I take the high line that success is not an option. It has to happen. It may look very different than I thought it was going to look. But if I just, the goal is in concrete, but the plan is in sand. And as long as I keep the goal in my mind and then react and respond to the conditions that my business is in, then I can get to the goal. But if I am just absolutely dead set on keeping to the plan, then it's not very useful because plans, we don't work in a vacuum. We don't work in a vacuum. And I think for me, being able to respond contextually to what's going on around me to get to the goal has been what has, led to a business that is now 13 years old and, doing pretty well.
Wow. We know what everyone online wants to have their needs met and problems solved. My plan also is a group of hungry entrepreneurs wanting the same things. So what is your focus and your specialty online?
Our specialty is helping people find their audience and connect with them in an actionable way. So if a client comes to us and says we're trying to reach, young men who like the outdoors, then we work with them to identify where those people are, how they're getting influenced, what's their communities, and then we connect our clients with those communities that will then activate for their sales.
Okay. So what is the effective communication in this digital age?
Well, I think the big fallacy is that there's one thing to do, that there's, if everybody just did one thing, that it would work. And that's wrong. The thing that you need to focus on is each community, each target audience works differently. And to really understand how to reach them effectively is to understand them, right? How you reach moms of children who are between, birth and 3 years old is very different than how you reach moms of children who are 17 and 18 years old. How you reach people, women who are single and in business, starting their careers is very different than how you reach people like myself who are not starting their career, have been in business for 25 years and have established companies. You have to understand who your audience is and how they like to interact. There is no one magic silver bullet except for a good message delivered in the medium that makes sense to that audience.
Ooh. Okay, so where do we find your book?
My book, the best way you can find it on Amazon. It's Millennials and Management, The Essential Guide to Making It Work at Work. It's on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.leecaraher.com, and you can find all the links there.
Okay. Clan, Lee is going to hang out and share more information about her journey with us. If you can relate to where Lee started her travels so far, or if you just want to learn more about Lee, you can listen to the extended version of her journey at onlinesuccessjourney.com. If you are listening at the journey, by clicking on part 2 of Lee's journey, you will get even more tips to help you with your own online journey and access to all our journey podcasts. So, check out Lee's book, Millennials Management, The Essentials Guide to Making It Work at LeeCaraher.com, and also check it on Amazon. So find all these links and learn more joining at the clan on onlinesuccessjourney.com. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Lee. Join us in part 2 at onlinesuccessjourney.com.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, You know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the online success journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.